Recording now. So, all righty, let's go ahead and get started this morning. From the home page, as you start getting, as you're logged in, I'm not sure if it's been. Already making sure that we can all see this screen.
Hey, Tom.
Is it off? Hold on just a minute.
No sound on this.
Why did you lose it?
It was there, Jamie. It went away.
All righty, hold on just a minute. Let me make sure.
There it is.
Is it there now?
Yep.
Alrighty, good. So let's go ahead and get started.
Yeah, thanks everybody for making time in your busy day. Like Jamie said, we greatly appreciate it. We have an amazing group of dealers, and you know, the main goal of this is to help you guys make things easier and more efficient, and support the customer better, and sell more parts for everybody, which is good. So like Jamie said, thank you for taking the time, and feel free to reach out to any of us at any time. Thanks, Jamie.
All righty, let's go ahead and get started. From your home page, as you log in, at the top of the page, you'll see several tabs up at the top. The dealer's home page is where you can see multiple tabs. If your tab is not allowing you to go into the warranty or the dying man, that is specifically designed that way, because if you're not in the warranty, if you're not assigned it, because it's not your task. The dying man tab was designed years ago because we wanted to allow the service techs to get into the website to see the parts manuals, but not be able to accidentally purchase something for whatever reason. That was the way that we had designed it years ago. So if you don't see the dying man tab and you don't have warranty and you need it, shoot me an email. We'll get this loaded up. It's pretty quick and fast. Today, we're going to focus in on the Parts Online tab. Going forward, Eric is tasking us with different training episodes and warranty and service and dying man specifically. So today, we're going to focus in on dying man and Parts Online. So as you're hovering over the icon, we'll select the button Go. As we go into it, now you are tasked with several different subtitles. Underneath that, the browser tab, serial BOM, which stands for serial bill of material, search, cart, orders, quotes, and pre-2005 manuals. Instead of jumping in and going straight to the meat of it, let's go ahead and go over several things that are on the website that you will see, but you won't predominantly live there, i.e. the browser. I want to explain the browser to you, and I want to explain it with the understanding that the browser tab is designed to allow you to browse. It is not a parts manual that is specific. What I mean by that is inside of the manual, as we click over the series model, first we need to know what series we have. So understanding the difference between 2201, 2202 could be a challenge sometimes to someone new. So that's why I say the browser tab is a book to browse through, but we have better options to understand what crane and how the crane was built as. Specifically underneath, clicking on the 2201, there are 5 different options of boom assemblies: 77 foot, 62, 101, and 50. Not knowing which exact option your crane was built at can lead you down a different path. So knowing that the parts manual for browser is for browsing to understand, try to find what you're looking for, it's a great tool. But if you don't have the unit in front of you to refer to, then it can be dangerous. But go ahead and clicking on the arrow to the left of it, and the items drop down below it. as you are able to, you can drag this screen over by clicking and dragging, very simple. As you look into this parts manual, you can click on it and the print will show up on the right-hand side. And it will show you what items.
I can't hear you.
Let me go ahead and I've got a few more. Let me go real quick to add these and get these involved here real quick. I apologize for the delay, guys. All righty, as we continue with the class, you can select what you're looking at and you can browse to know where you're looking at in the parts book. So it will help you find things a little easier. But as we talked about earlier, with a little bit of caution to understand that the browser manual has the ability to show some of the options, but not specifically what your crane was built as. So I say this with understanding that the browser tab is designed to allow you to browse to a parts book, understand which that there are several different feature options that the customer could select when they're building the crane, but it's not specifically for what your crane was built as. So, all righty. The second tab up is called the Serial Bill of Material, Serial BOM. That's where we're going to live today. But before we get there, I want to continue over with the other parts of the web so that we can come back and hone in on exactly where we're going to live at. So if a customer calls in and they'll give you a part number, you can simply go to the word search. The word search, we also could be considered to be quote and purchase. But searching, I am searching for a part number, and we have different options to search from. Either a part number, if you have it, a part description, or parts by series. If you select those, you'll have to select the one at the bottom. So if I put a description of Shiv and put descriptive, or put part number, descriptive, and push both and submit, you'll find those parts for that item. I say this with a word of caution, unless you know exactly that part because you've ordered it before and you know it's right. It's a little easier to make sure that the parts are correct the first time for your customer. So knowing a part number, because we've sold it before, I can type in the part number. It'll show a description at the bottom, and then I can push submit. But I have it on descriptive, so it's not allowing me to see it because I have it on description, but so I need to change it to part number. And now I push submit, and now at the bottom, it's going to tell me how many I have on hand in Texas, how many we have on hand in Italy, and the list price. If I want to add it to the cart very simply here, I can highlight the changes. I can put 2. I can put add in cart by clicking the button add in cart and place in cart. On the top left-hand corner, you will see that now we have added it to our cart. I'm going to go ahead and clear this one out. If you have a list of parts and the customer has given you a list of 10 parts up to 50 items, you can copy them from the email and you can paste them in that and push submit. If you want to type a list of them, that is okay too. I'm going to type in just a few more here. After I finish typing in the part numbers, I can now pick submit. They will now come up as parts that are inside of the advanced search. And now I can go ahead and add them to the cart. But before I push place in cart, I can change the quantity to whatever it is that the customer is wanting. I push place in cart. In the top left-hand corner, it'll show me that the parts are added to the cart. That's pretty easy there. Now we'll go to cart. Let's also refer to this as show me what I have in my cart. All righty. The list of parts now has a total. This is referred to as if you're selling at list price. This is where you can show the customer and you can look through the website together and you can very easily see what your total is. Or you can simply copy this section and paste it to an email, but remind yourself that there is a discount here. The list price is listed. The discount is listed. And the dealer net is listed. So as you're there, if I want to go ahead and save changes, what if I change this to 10? Save changes. Now it's the difference is the list price, your discount, your dealer net, and now here is your total. Now, as we continue to change these part numbers for training, we're going to save changes. As we agree that we like these changes, but we're not quite ready to order them, at this point, you can either process the order, empty the cart, or push delete by each section. I'm going to go ahead and delete just one. So it's moved it from the cart. It's given me my prices, my total, my net. At this time, if I decide I want to let the customer have some time, I'm going to go ahead and put the customer's, whatever you want to save it as. I'm going to call it Jim Bob 226. I'm going to push save cart as a draft. I now have it inside of my draft. I can come off of it, off of the cart. I can go back to the cart. I can now, let's go ahead and delete these items. I'm going to clear out my cart so you understand it's not there. I can now select the draft cart that I want by hovering over it, load draft, and now the cart, the items are back in the cart. It'll save you time from having to go back and add the parts back to the cart after you've quoted him and now you want to come back. After we get to this point and now you have the parts that are inside of your cart, you have the options to save the cart, empty the cart, change the items, or delete the items. At that point now you can go ahead and push place order. Now you're entering into the process where you're actually placing the order. I like to explain that the information is from top to bottom, but I like to start at the bottom and go to the top because this website will not allow you to place an order accidentally without putting a purchase order number in. If I put the purchase order number in, go through the order, make changes, and I place the order, and then I find out that something different needs to happen on it, I can't accidentally change it, accidentally place the order without making the changes. So I like to start at the bottom of the web page, order comments or special instructions. This section right here is designed for any comments that you want to put on the sales order. Remind yourself it also goes on the packing slip. It also goes on the invoice. So it is information that is added to your order, and it is also saved on all aspects of your sales order. Comments that we would like to put. If you have your customer's purchase order number and you're drop shipping it to the customer, perhaps you may want to put their purchase order so when they get the part, they understand. Real quick, packages are shipped blind here, so we ship them without any pricing on them. But if you put in there the price, remind yourself the customer is going to get the price because it's on the package slip. So I say that with caution. Put the instructions on there that are needed for this specific part. If you understand you're ordering a weldment and you desire it to be painted blue, but normally it's painted white, it's not a problem. Just make sure you put the comments on there so that you can make sure that the information is relayed to our shipping department, our production team, myself and the rest of the team members, and we do the order as you ask us to do it. So anyways, order comments, if you have them, there you go. Now we're going to review the items inside of a cart before we process it. Looking at the items, I say, yes, this is what I want. Most importantly is your discount. Your discounts may vary because of your history. And as you change the order from standard to rush, and we'll go over this above, as we change the discount, the order category, your discount will change. And we'll explain that right quickly. The quantity, the dealer net, your total net. So as these prices match your internal purchase order, you want to make sure that those don't have any hiccups on your side for invoicing purposes. Next thing up, customer select via. If you want us to ship it on your customer account, your UPS, your FedEx, your account, no problem. Put your account number and your name. So my account number is 736-739. I will put this is UPS. So now you understand that I'm not going to charge you any freight for this. I'm going to charge you only for the parts and a small $4 handling fee. And that $4 handling fee helps pay for the boxes. As we have progressed over the years, more and more people have freight accounts, UPS, FedEx, and unfortunately, the cost of that was simple to add the handling fee to cover the boxing. So that's why it's there. Already shipped via. We are going to ship this UPS second day air. As you see behind UPS, you'll see a NGS. Let's go over what that means. NGS is not guaranteed service. No insurance coverage if not arrived on requested date. Guaranteed service. Extra freight cost will apply for insurance if package does not arrive on time. If you would like guaranteed service, if you would like it, please request it with placing notes in the order comment special. So what I would do is I want to ship guaranteed service, must have tomorrow. I can type Saturday. All righty, so I'm going to tell everybody that I need this tomorrow morning. It's got to ship. But unfortunately upstairs, I have it currently as a standard order. Parts will ship within 48 hours subject to availability. Do we hold parts back just to wait? Absolutely not. No. We're going to ship parts as fast as we can, as quickly as we can. But knowing that, we offer the option of a rush order. Parts shipped same day if placed before 2:30, subject to availability. After we have completed all of the rush orders and we feel that we're as many parts as possibly as we can ship before 2:30, the remaining balance of the day is going to continue to ship rush orders. Do we have a cutoff time? Unfortunately, we have to have a time listed, but we are not stopping parts from shipping. We're going to continue to ship and continue to ship parts as often as we can, all day, as fast as we can. And then we're going to go to subject to the standard orders. After we're done with that, we're going to go to the stock orders, the orders that are designed for you to quickly hand to your customer over the counter. i.e. look at your items that you've sold over the last 6 months, divide it by 6. That's the items that you want to hold on your shelf if you're stocking a 30-day supply. So pretty simple. If you're needing assistance with that, absolutely not a problem. We can look at it several different ways to see how and what you've purchased over the last 6 months, year, or we can get that list for you to give you a recommended item list. Or if you know that you have stock in your area, more 50 tons. What are the items that you think that you might need to stock for a 50-ton customer, i.e. filters, bearings, shivs, quickly replace slider pads, outrigger floats, things like that. So anyways, as we go up, now we're at the serial number. If this is for your stock or if it's for multiple units, simply put the word stock. If you know your crane serial number, put it in there, and then your model. This information is very valuable because you can now look back at your sales order when the part comes in and say, why did I order this? You look back and say, oh, this is for Jim Bob out to shop. He's working on crane 1, 2, 3. It's very easy, very quick. This field is not used to double check to see if your parts are correct, unless we look at the part and realize, okay, you've ordered something that we hadn't sold in 30 years. We're going to go back and look at it. Or if Carl's loading a software and a display, he's going to go look at this field. But most importantly, this information can be used to for your purposes. Now we go over to the ship to. As you start putting in your information, it's going to default to your address. If you want to change that address to your customer, it's not a problem. We'll ship it wherever it is. It's your customers are located where your customers are at. So we can ship it directly to them. You simply type over the address, making sure at the bottom that this still remains your email address. Pretty important stuff right there. All righty, your dealer email address and your phone number. All right, I'm trying to give you all everything. There we go. All righty. The last thing that you want to put in after you looked at the order from top to bottom, bottom to top, you're 100% sure that's right. You want the parts standard order, but I want it Saturday. Almost messed up, didn't I? All righty, now you can see that I changed the order category from standard to rush. My discount at the bottom has now changed. If I change it to a stock order, it's now going to tell me at the top that I have not reached the minimum order items or order value. It tells me down at the bottom that I need to have $5,000 worth of list price, 5,000 list, not net, and 10 light items to meet that requirement. So now I've got, if I want to place the order, I've got to change it to a rush. So I want it to go Saturday delivery, rush, Saturday. I put the comments in there. I've looked at my quantity. This is everything is correct. I put it in here. Now, after you've reviewed it, you double checked it. Now you can push the order. I'm going to put that. Look at it one more time, real quick. Place order. After you've placed the order, now you're going to be able to see an online reference number. My online reference number tells me that I've placed an order online with Manitex, and the sales order and the reference number is 131259. In a few minutes, I'll receive an email that tells me that I have placed an order. Once I have placed an order, I'll be able to get a sales order confirmation. That number will change. The online reference is for your online purposes. The sales order number is not assigned until the sales order is actually processed. So that's a little bit something to understand the difference between online reference and actually the sales order. So that's just something quick and easy to remind yourself that the online number will change. Alrighty, moving on. Now we can review our orders. As we review our orders, we can see several different tabs on here. And we can see that the information is available for a long time. We can look at all orders, waiting orders, which is what I have here. Now your screen will look a little bit different, but don't be too concerned because I'm logged in now as an administrator, and I can see things that are a little bit different. On your website, you will see a SO, which stands for sales order, or SH, which is for shipment. Currently, this is still in the waiting status, so I can't see any shipments on it. As I click on it, I can go back and look at the sales order and find out what I actually have shipped and what I actually have items that are still on order. For open orders, I don't have anything open and I don't have anything closed at this time. Once you're inside of this order, you can actually click the button SH, which is shipments. Now I'm going to show you a screenshot of what you'll see as a dealership. Once you click on that button, you will now see information, i.e. your invoice number, your date of shipment, your invoiced amount, the carrier, your tracking number, your freight, and the handling. Here are the items that we ordered. Here are the item details, that for items that have shipped. And now here are the shipment details. So this information is pretty valuable when it comes to looking at a sales order and looking at the history of it. So that information is stored inside of your computer, inside of our website for a long time. And it's really neat because now I can search by specific sales orders by clicking in do test. All righty. So I can put in my purchase order number as I used to test Jamie. And as you can see that I've used this test number a few times. It's not a big deal. I can search by part number. So your order history tab is really quick and easy. The quotes tab. As you're reviewing your quotes tab, you won't have anything in this quote tab until you actually have items that you have asked for a quote from. You can now look at open quotes, waiting quotes, or closed quotes. I don't have anything in there because I don't have anything there. What I mean by that quote process, if you list a part number that has not been priced on our website, the same process that you're using for orders, you may use that for a quote. It's going to come to us and we're going to price it out if it's able to be priced out. What I mean by that is if I select an item that does not have an opportunity to be purchased, then I can then select the button quote. The reason why this is not available to be purchased is because it has a descriptive of the part saying use a different part number. So if you ask for a quote for that, I'm going to send it back and say, this is the replacement part. So just be cognizant of looking at the parts and why they're not available to purchase is most of the time is because of this descriptive of the parts telling us to use a different part. And that's our attempt, is trying to get the most information in front of you as fast as we can. So if you don't have that part number and you're not able to quote it, I can click the quote button, place it in my cart. I can go to cart and now it's in my quoted items. So the same process of ordering items now is inside of my quote tab. I can request that quote. I need to change it to, I need 3 of them, save changes. I can empty my cart or I can request a quote. So now the same process. I can say this is for serial number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got it for customer Jimmy Thornton. All righty, I just put Jimmy. And now I push submit. It gives me the online order quote process. Now I have it in quotes. I have it in waiting for customer. Unfortunately, with that, after I see that descriptive of the part, it's going to tell me to go back and use the substitute, and I'll give you that substitute. But anyways, as we go back to quotes is the same process as orders. You see that the screens look very, very familiar to each other. Orders and quotes. It's the same process for order entry as it is quote request. Pre-2005 manuals. This is a manual that you are able to download and quickly download the entire manual. I give you word of caution with this. If you're not 100% sure of the series, you download the manual, send it to the customer, and it could be wrong. I.e. this manual here that I'm looking at, the 17-ton manual. We have produced this crane several times. At our first conception of, this was one of our first cranes that we produced in McAllen, Texas, was a 17-ton crane. This series was a 1700. In Georgetown, Texas, when we moved up here in the early 90s, we actually created a 1701, a millennial version of this. We now purchased USTC, United States Trucking Company, which encompassed the JLG product line. We adapted their 17-ton to the Manitex, and now it is a 1703 series. Our newest and latest greatest 17-ton with the same 70-foot boom is now a 1704. So the 17-ton has been produced 4 different times. So downloading this manual has the option to probably get you the wrong book. So we've got to make sure that we're on the right model. And we're going to get to that real quick here by giving the serial number bill of materials. Going to give us a lot of information. And I wanted to wait to that till now because just remind yourself that the pre-2005 manuals has a lot of information, a lot of books out there, and we support a lot of cranes that we own these product lines. So as you just want to take time to become familiar with all of the product lines that you as a Manitex dealership support, that's a good list of items. All righty, for what all we've been waiting for, the serial number bill of material. I'm going to go over this relatively easy. Spend a little bit more time on this morning because this is the most important part. As many of you know, over the years, I will send you screenshots of where I found this information. That's not to insult you. It is something to share with you, to help train with you where we got the information from. So it also helps you to make sure that we're quoting the right part number. It might be simpler and easier if you ask for a shiv, I give you a part number and price, but you're not really sure, did I get it in the right spot? So that's my goal, is to make sure that you're getting the best information in front of you as quick, as fast as you can, and making sure it's right. So, all righty, let's start from the top real quick here. Your website will not see this box with an update on there. That is informational purposes for our side to make notes. And these notes may vary from different things. Of the crane was changed from an LMI of a 3B6 to a WECA product, or it changed from a gear pump to a vane pump. That's information that we have here. The website has been designed to be frozen as your crane left the facility. And let me make you understand that. As the crane left here, this is how the website will remain. It is very accurate. Are there any flaws in the web? Yes, we're all human, but we believe that this website here is very, very accurate with the information as the crane left. Making changes after the fact and recording them, that's information that's on a customer level. So if he changes the boom from a 77-foot boom to a 100-foot boom and we don't know anything about it, he's got to record that information, make sure he's getting the right stuff. So we believe that this website is very accurate information as the crane left our facility. Now let's go up to the serial number. We have tagged in the serial number 28352 and select the button Go. As it pops up, you will have a header informational tab, serial number, order date, model number. This is a 2592, which real quick stands, the first two digits are for our tonnage, last two digits are for our boom length. 25 ton with a 92-foot boom. Registration date. This is the date that it was registered. For the dealers who actually do the warranty portal of this also, this registration date is important. It starts the registration, it starts the warranty. That's the date it was registered, if it was ever registered. If the crane was not registered, i.e. the customer decided he got the crane and he didn't decide to register it on this one, it wasn't registered, wasn't recorded back in 96, not uncommon. The truck model, the date it was shipped. So the order date was January, we shipped it in April of 96. Distributor Ringhaven, address. So that information is there. It's just to help make sure we're in the right model, i.e. by 2005 pre-manuals. Can find out if we're on a 25 ton. And how we find that information out is the first four digits of the bill of material. This 2592, it's 25 ton, 92-foot boom. You actually can see that your 2500 is the first four digits of that. That's actually the series 2500 Manitex. It's a 25 ton with a 92-foot boom. 92 would actually be the series. The model's a 2500. The series is a 2592. As we select and we hit the plus sign on the left-hand side, now we can continue to hit the plus sign to find different parts. Same as the browser tab, you hit the arrow to the left and the tree will continue to explode. And you're able then to click on items as you want to. Let's say that the customer calls in and you have a rotation bearing that need to be replaced. So I can now click on the rotation bearing install. Most importantly, things that we get down to, and I understand this, that we hit the plus sign, we go down and find the rotation bearing, and there's no print here. I don't know what I'm doing. This part over here, let me tell you this, and this is kind of important. As we get to that, you'll see that you have a picture. This is not an interactive portal part of our web. This is a picture to make sure that I'm actually on the right part of the website. If I am looking for rotation bearing and I see a picture of a winch, then we need to question it, right? Our website is designed to show assembly drawings, not individual item drawings. So I won't see a print of a bolt or a washer, but I will see a picture of the rotation bearing and how it is installed. So that's pretty quick there. As you click on the word rotation bearing install, or if I click on the turret installation, let me go ahead and minimize that. The print here will now show up on the right-hand side. Of each one of these, the print shows up on the right-hand side. For this particular training purposes, we'll look at the rotation bearing install. the PDF icon shows up. I can click on the PDF or click on the rotation bearing installation. Once I click on it, the pop-up menu will show up. Now I'm viewing the bill of material for the rotation bearing and the item that it takes to install the rotation bearing. Most importantly, you can look at the print. You can look at the items that are inside of it. The rotation bearing cover, the swing motor, the motion control valve, the cover itself that goes over the swing gear reducer, the hardware to install it. So as we continue to look at this print, this is what I advise you. When you're looking at these prints, go ahead, print them, save them, email them over to your customer. Put as much information in front of them and you and your service tech, and make sure that you're getting the right parts by looking at the assembly drawing. And now, talking about this rotation bearing and talking about the items that it would take to install it. I like to call it right selling. I'm not trying to upsell the customer. I'm not asking him to waste his money, waste his time. I'm asking to make sure that I have the right parts. So install of this rotation bearing, I'm also going to look at the hardware it takes to install the rotation bearing. I want to look at the items for the items that are above it, i.e. the turret installation. So now I've taken the turret off to get to the rotation bearing. I now want to install the turret with new hardware. I want to replace that hardware to make sure that we didn't put a new bearing on there and reuse old hardware. As we go to the turret above it, we've got a boom installation. As we take off the boom, we're going to go to the boom installation. Looking at the boom installation, I'm going to replace the bushings inside of the pins and maybe the pins if they're worn. Real quick on this, for those that are not familiar with how to use the Manatech style drawings, I'm going to go over this real quick. As you see these drawings, you will see a section A-A. Another word for section would be a view of. Section AA is a view of AA. That view is as you are standing behind the arrows and looking through the arrows. Now this is actually looking down. So as I'm looking down, I'm standing on top of the arrows and I'm looking down through the arrows. So I'm actually looking down into the turret. I'm standing above the boom. I'm looking down through the boom because the arrows on the left of A-A are going down. I'm standing above it. And now it says to go look at section AA or view AA. Looking at that information, I apologize. Looking at that information, it has several items on that view. It has the pin that goes through the boom. You can see the actual curvature of the bottom plate of the turret there. And the darkened area is a cut screen. Item 4 is a bushing that goes inside of the pin, and item 7 is the pin. As we go over to the bill of material on the right-hand side, number 7 is the pin. Number 4 is the bushing or bearing. So just making sure that I just wanted to share with you how to use the Manatech prints and other various engineering prints. Section AA means view of AA, and then go stand behind the arrows, look through the arrows. So that helps you understand a little bit where we're at. So as we remove the boom, so just make sure as you're quoting the customer, you're doing the parts that need to be done for you, for your customer, so that you don't have to wait 3 days to get another part and 3 days to get another part. Let's go ahead and get the parts on the first time, complete the sale, the purchase the first time. And I think everybody will appreciate that. All righty, let's go now to a little bit better part of it, and that's going to help you out. Find some parts. The biggest part challenge that you will have with Manitex, National, Linkbeck, Terex, the other manufacturers, is terminology. Where do I find a part? How do I find a part? What do you call it? What do I call it? The easiest thing to use this website is the keyword. Above, on the right-hand side, you will see a box, and I can change it, put whatever it is descriptive I want to in there, and I can type it, and I can push search, and it's going to find anything with the word filter, return line filter kit, use filter. So it doesn't matter, anywhere inside of that word, you're going to find the word, and you can find those options. Shiv. There's quite a few shivs or shiv pins or retract shivs inside of this crane. It's looking, this bill of material is looking inside of that whole entire bill of material for that key word. Most importantly is the product location, i.e., where did I find this part number and why is it there? Inside of the product location, i.e., where did I find it? Here's the assembly drawing. Here is where it was used at, and here's the beginning of the tool tree. So I'm going to follow that path, 2500.010. Then I'm going to go find this next part number. I'm going to go find this part number, and that's where the drawing is going to be at. So what I mean by that, find a 2500.010. That's right here, 2500.010. Hit the plus sign. Now the next thing is the boom installation 6000740.010. I want to go down and find the 6000740.010. The next thing is the boom assembly 6000578.007. 6000578.007. There we go. It says it's in that print. All righty. So now I'm going to open up the print of the boom assembly. I'm going to go find shivs. There are several shivs inside of this boom. Item 15, item 20, 17, 16, 17, 18, 19. So now I can make sure that I'm on the right part. I find the item number, scroll down to it. Yep, that's the one I want. You bet, that's it. That's item number 19, or that's item number. So that helps us find the part. A lot of times, most common, the customer will call and ask, I want the tip shivs on the end of the boom. You'll pull up the boom assembly drawing. On this particular drawing, the shivs are located on the last page. I'm going to zoom into this to help us understand what they mean and what the numbers and items mean on each one. On the Manitex drawings and many others, you will see a circle. On the top of the circle, you will see the item number. On the bottom of the circle, you will see the quantity. The quantity is for the total of items that are used inside of the assembly. So for this, there are 3 of 15, 3 of item 21, 4 of item 50, 2 of item 41. Just for sake of saving time, I understand that item 15 is a shiv. There are 3 of them. Two on the bottom and 1 on the top. But Mr. Jamie, it's not pointing to the one on the top. You're right. It's not going to show a bunch of squiggly lines throughout the whole entire boom assembly. It's just going to show that there are 3 of them. So handing this print to the customer, explaining that to them, he'll understand the 2 on the bottom and 1 on the top. Item 41 and 50. That's a pin, that's a retaining pin that keeps the wire rope on the shiv. There are 1 on the bottom and 1 up at the top. That's item 41 is the pin. Item 50 is the retaining pins that go through there. For the shivs, Our item 15 is 3 of the shivs and 3 of the inner races. Let's keep that in mind, 15 and 21. If I was going to replace everything on this, the tip of the boom, I would go through and order the quantities that have, and the items, 34, I'd order 2, 44 to order 4, 42, 4, and keep going down. That's going to give me the shiv pins, the snap rings, the grease fittings, the shiv itself, the retaining pins, and the keepers, all listed on one section. So now we're going to go back up to the bill of material and we're going to find these items. We're going to focus in right now on items 15 and 21. 15 is the shiv, 21 is the inner race that goes with that. So 15 now is the shiv, 6000111-003. 21 is the inner race that goes along with that shiv, 4000132.002. Because you're in a PDF, you'll actually have to write these part numbers down on a piece of paper. And then when you get back to the website, you can tag them in the search cart. So there we go. Looking at the drawings, most importantly, reminding yourselves that you will find drawings of assemblies, but you will not find drawings of individual items. That is designed so that you're not ordering the wrong part. So you're understanding where it's used at inside of the assembly, and understanding that the biggest part of yours is understanding the descriptive of the search tab. That will help you tremendously. This particular crane of the 2592 I selected because as you get to the bigger units that are 50 tons and the bigger cranes, you will, as technology has continued to evolve, bigger words came out that are making things a little bit more challenging to the layman, i.e. IFM module, CPU, outrigger module, outrigger radio mode. Those things are very difficult. Those keywords, using those inside of the search, are essential to help finding the part. So keep that in mind. The search tab is there to help you, to assist you in anything that looking for the parts, but reminding yourself that once you find the descriptive of the part, you'll need to go back to the assembly drawing to make sure that that's what you're looking at, not just taking it for granted, saying it's a shiv, it's the right one, I'm going to buy it, let's go. Make sure you find it back to the assembly drawing. Make sure that you look at it correctly, and then it'll help you out tremendously. The biggest thing that we're going to say again is the terminology. As you find these, it'll be a challenge sometimes to make sure that you're on the right location. Why is it that the control console is inside of a certain area? The control console in this crane is inside of the pump feature. It's in there for specifically because the pump is designed on a 3-section pump, and the control valve is designed on a 3-section pump. But unless you knew that, you wouldn't find it. But if I type the word console, control, it will find it. It'll help us. So that's a good, quick, easy way of how to find where print is located on our website. Hydraulic reservoir. That's your hydraulic tank. I keep hitting the plus sign. I go down and I find my hydraulic tank. Now I can click on it. The PDF drawing opens up. I can look at it. I can find the items related to that hydraulic tank. Back to the web. So we keep going down. The paint feature is referred to as our decal section. You will find the items inside of your decal kit. I know, reminding ourselves that the right-hand print is only for to make sure I'm in the right spot. Load charts, that's a good one there. That's where your load charts are located at. Wanted to minimize that. It says load chart inside of our load chart A to B, LMI, and load chart features. Low block. As we break that open, it'll have it says no illustration available, but the print might still be there. If it's not, send it to me. We'll get the print added to the website. We'll continue to evolve and get better and better and better. The jib feature assembly. If the crane left with a jib, it will have the jib installation. As reminding ourselves, the jib installation is the jib assembly, the telescopic jib assembly, and the items included to install the jib to the crane. So the jib installation is the assembly drawing of how to install it. The jib assembly, as I click on it, now is the items made for the jib assembly. So that's really neat. Real quick, if you know the part, and we know for a fact that we've already picked it out, we went through it, and it's without a shadow of a doubt, and you want to add the parts to the cart from right here, this is pretty easy. I select the cart, the item inside of the bill of material on the left-hand side. It will price it out to the right-hand side. This is your list price. This is not your net cost. You will not know your net cost until you actually add it to your cart. And then if you change the discount structure by order type, your price will change. This is your list price. This is where you can actually show your customer as you're selecting the items. Remind yourself, but don't show the customer the items in your cart because it is your net cost. Unless you want to show them what you're paying for it, don't let them see the cart. Alrighty, but inside of the quote process, you can show them, because this is a list price. I can add it to my cart by changing the quantity and pushing place in cart. Down at the bottom on the right left-hand side, it'll say quantity. It will tell me how many of the rotation bearing bolts are required to install the rotation bearing. That is not all the bolts, because now I'm on the rotation bearing, I'm only installing the bearing. The turret installation will have bolts to install the turret to the bearing, i.e. the bolts for the boom installation are inside of there to install the boom to the turret. So remind yourselves, turret, rotation bearing, I'm installing the rotation bearing to the pedestal. The turret is installing the turret to the rotation bearing. But this is really neat. It'll tell us the quantity of, again, when you open the print, the quantity is on the drawing of the different items. So this is a boom assembly drawing. It tells us it takes one base section. There are quantity 1. And as we keep going down, the quantity is beside each one, and that will match the item on the bottom of the circle also. So I hope that's very clear that the quantity, and also right above the quantity is the within. That tells me that this item is used within this drawing. This drawing 6000084.005 is this item number here, 6000084.005. So that's pretty easy. So adding the carts, most importantly, getting a quote quick and fast for the items that are inside of the cart by thumbing through there. So if you know that you have specifically your tribal knowledge is extensive, and you know that, oh, I know I need that slap plug. There it is. Just click on it. On the right-hand side, it will show the quantity on hand and the price. The motor control valve. That is a block that's bolted to the swing gear reducer motor with the counterbalance valves on it. And if I want to look at that valve to make sure that it's exactly what I want, there's the assembly drawing of the counterbalance valves and the valve body. Once again, we'll have the assembly drawings, but not individual drawings of the valves or just of the valve body, but it will have a valve assembly. So anyways, as we keep going down, adding items to your cart can be accomplished by selecting them on this screen here, adding the parts to the quantity and placing in cart, or simply jot them items down in the quantity that you want Once you have your list compiled, then you can go to the search tab, add the carts items to the cart there, and then push place in cart. Other items that are notable for remembering that this crane bill of material is as accurate as almost possible. This crane file was frozen as the crane left. Is it possible that you don't have any knowledge that this crane was changed over on the feature item on a different boom? You still need to make sure that you're working on actually a 25-ton with a 92-foot boom and not just taking it for granted. Just do the extra double check to make sure. Just to make sure you're on a 25, 92-foot boom. Yeah, here we go. That's what the website shows. And we feel very confident. And this is what I'm going to use when you call in. So we're using the same tools. All righty. So that about covers the website for today. Well, you know, you can't have a test without having I have a class without having a test. To get your discount structure emailed over to you, simply tell me what serial number we trained on today. The serial number is above. Simply email me, need a discount structure, here's the serial number, a simple question, and we'll get that question over to you. We'll get that discount structure over to you. All right, we want to tell you thank you again for taking the class this morning. We will have this recorded. It has been recorded, and it will be on our website underneath the training module of our website. As I say this to the home, there's a training tab down here, factory classes. This class will be saved on this file for your employees who weren't able to attend today. But once again, we do thank you for being here and taking your time. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. All right. See you soon. Bye.